Ever wake up exhausted, even after a full night of sleep? What if I told you that the very sleep you think is helping you recover is quietly destroying your testosterone, strength, and energy without you even realizing it? If you're a man over 30, you've probably noticed it. Your energy isn't what it used to be. Your workouts feel harder. Your muscles aren't recovering like they used to, and sometimes even motivation seems to slip away. You may chalk it up to age, stress, or busy schedules, but one of the biggest hidden culprits is something you do every single day: sleep. Sleep isn't just a break from life. It's the time when your body rebuilds, restores, and releases the hormones that define your strength, vitality, and energy. Skipping quality sleep or even losing small amounts night after night quietly sabotages your testosterone, growth hormone, and metabolic health. And the worst part? Most men don't even notice until the damage has already started. By the end of this video, you'll understand why sleep is the ultimate performance booster, why ignoring it is costing you strength and health, and what simple, scientifically backed steps you can take to reclaim your energy and hormone balance. Whether your goal is building muscle, losing fat, or just feeling like yourself again, this information could literally change the way your body responds every single day. Once your body goes to sleep, it's not just resting, it's performing some of the most critical work of your life. Men often underestimate how much of their strength, energy, and vitality depends on the quality of their sleep. Testosterone, the hormone that fuels muscle, energy, and drive, is primarily released during deep sleep. Growth hormone, essential for muscle recovery, fat loss, and overall vitality, follows a similar pattern. When you compromise your sleep even slightly, you are silently suppressing these hormones, and the consequences aren't immediate. They accumulate over time, gradually eroding your strength and energy. Think about the mornings where you wake up feeling groggy despite a full night in bed. That grogginess isn't laziness. It's your hormones signaling that recovery was incomplete. Your body didn't reach those deep restorative stages that trigger testosterone and growth hormone production. Over weeks and months, this leads to less muscle retention, slower recovery, and even reduced libido. Men over 30 are particularly sensitive because natural hormone production starts to decline, and sleep disruptions accelerate that process. The connection is so direct that studies show men who sleep less than 6 hours per night can have testosterone levels equivalent to someone 10 years older. That means a night of poor sleep isn't just a bad day, it's a small step toward long-term decline in strength, vitality, and even mood. You might notice that workouts feel harder, your focus wanes, and energy levels drop earlier in the day. All of this is directly tied to the hormonal shifts caused by insufficient sleep, but it's not just about quantity, it's about quality. You can spend 8 hours in bed, but if your sleep is fragmented, filled with brief awakenings, or light rather than deep, your hormone cycles are disrupted. Sleep cycles follow a natural rhythm, moving from light to deep sleep multiple times per night. Deep sleep is when testosterone peaks and muscle recovery happens. If that phase is consistently cut short, your body compensates poorly, leaving you feeling weak, sluggish, and less motivated, even if you think you're resting enough. Nutrition, exercise, and stress levels all influence these cycles. A heavy meal late at night, alcohol, or high stress can reduce deep sleep duration. Caffeine, poor lighting, and irregular bedtimes further disrupt your natural rhythm. Men who ignore these factors often experience hormonal decline without connecting it to their nightly habits. And the worst part? Over time, this hormonal imbalance can increase fat storage, reduce strength, and create a feedback loop where poor sleep leads to lower testosterone, which in turn makes sleep less restorative. The effects extend beyond physical performance. Low testosterone caused by sleep deprivation impacts mood, focus, and motivation. You may feel irritable, mentally foggy, or less confident, and it can affect every area of life, from workouts to work to relationships. Strength, energy, and mental sharpness are intertwined with hormone health, and sleep is the linchpin. So what can you do? The first step is awareness, understanding that your nightly sleep directly controls your hormone levels and physical performance shifts your perspective. It's not just rest, it's an investment in your body's ability to recover, build, and maintain energy. Small changes to your bedtime habits, sleep environment, and lifestyle can preserve and even enhance testosterone and growth hormone production. From controlling light exposure, limiting late-night stimulation, to creating a consistent sleep schedule, these strategies prime your body for deeper, more restorative sleep cycles. When you start prioritizing sleep, you start reclaiming what many men mistakenly think is lost to age: strength, vitality, and the drive to perform at your best. Your workouts become more productive, your recovery faster, and your energy more consistent. Your body begins to respond like it did in your younger years, not magically, but because you are finally giving it the environment it needs to produce hormones efficiently. Ultimately, the quality of your sleep defines the quality of your hormones and your life. Neglecting it silently robs you of strength, energy, and vitality. By understanding the link between sleep and testosterone, you gain control over a major factor that determines how your body feels, performs, and ages. Because every night of deep, uninterrupted sleep is not just rest, it's a chance to restore your strength, amplify your hormones, and reclaim the energy that makes you feel like yourself again. When we think about building muscle, strength, and energy, most men focus on workouts, protein, and supplements, but they overlook one of the most critical factors: recovery. And the most powerful recovery tool you have is sleep. Poor sleep doesn't just make you tired, it actively blocks your ability to grow stronger, retain muscle, and recover from physical stress. The process is subtle, almost invisible, and that's why so many men over 30 don't realize what's happening until weeks or months of diminished performance have passed. Muscle growth happens when stress is applied to the body, and then recovery allows tissue repair and strengthening. When you lift weights, run, or even engage in physical activity, tiny micro tears form in your muscles. Deep restorative sleep triggers hormone release, primarily growth hormone and testosterone, which orchestrate repair, protein synthesis, and new muscle formation. Skip quality sleep, and these processes slow dramatically. You're putting in the effort at the gym, but your body isn't fully responding. That's why some men find themselves training consistently, yet seeing little progress. It's not the exercise, it's the sleep deficit that sabotages gains. Beyond muscle repair, sleep impacts energy systems at a cellular level. ATP, the energy currency of your cells, is replenished during rest. Without enough restorative sleep, energy production lags, making workouts feel heavier, reducing endurance, and leaving you mentally fatigued. Even your nervous system, which controls coordination, reaction time, and motor control, depends on proper sleep cycles. Poor sleep can impair neural efficiency, meaning your muscles don't fire optimally. Strength declines and risk of injury increases. Men over 40 often feel this subtly at first: a missed rep, slower recovery, or lingering soreness that lasts longer than it used to. Fatigue and hormonal imbalance are tightly linked. Cortisol, the stress hormone, rises when sleep is poor. Chronically elevated cortisol breaks down muscle tissue and interferes with testosterone production. This creates a vicious cycle. Poor sleep leads to higher stress, which suppresses hormone levels, which further limits muscle growth and energy. Even minor disruptions in sleep can shift this balance enough to slow progress in the gym and make everyday activities more exhausting. Nutrition plays a role too. When sleep is insufficient, appetite hormones like ghrelin and leptin become unbalanced. You crave more sugar and processed foods, which spikes insulin, increases fat storage, and further diminishes your body's ability to build lean muscle. Men often don't connect these cravings to sleep habits, thinking it's just getting older or bad diet choices, when in reality, It's your hormones reacting to poor recovery at night. But the solution isn't complicated. Supporting muscle growth and strength through sleep starts with awareness and consistency. Establishing a sleep schedule that allows for 7 to 9 hours of deep, uninterrupted rest is key. Timing workouts earlier in the day rather than late at night helps your body wind down properly. Evening routines that reduce light exposure, limit caffeine or alcohol, and incorporate relaxation techniques prime your body for deep sleep. Even small adjustments like a brief stretch or mobility session before bed can enhance circulation and recovery, signaling your body to release hormones that rebuild and repair. Sleep isn't just passive rest, it's active restoration. Men who integrate recovery-focused sleep habits often report faster gains, reduced soreness, and increased energy in the gym. Over time, this leads to measurable improvements in strength, muscle definition, and overall vitality. Your body responds not because of harder workouts alone, but because it's finally able to do what it was designed to do: repair, grow, and strengthen efficiently. What's powerful about this is that it's entirely within your control. You can train, eat, and supplement perfectly, but without prioritizing sleep, progress is limited. Conversely, even modest workouts paired with optimized sleep produce results far greater than effort alone. Men who understand and respect this connection often experience a dramatic difference in both performance and how they feel every day. At the end of the day, your muscles, joints, and energy levels are only as strong as the recovery that supports them. Poor sleep quietly erodes strength, delays recovery, and sabotages progress. By making sleep a priority, you're not just resting, you're actively fueling your body's natural ability to grow stronger, burn fat, and maintain vitality. Because the gains you want in the gym, the strength you want in life, and the energy you crave aren't built only by lifting. They're built when your body finally has the time and environment to repair itself fully each night. One of the most insidious effects of poor sleep is how it quietly shifts your body composition and metabolism. Men often think that fat gain or stubborn belly weight is just a result of age or diet, but in reality, disrupted sleep is a major contributor. When your nights are restless, your hormones start to misalign in ways that directly impact fat storage, appetite, and muscle preservation. Over time, this not only affects your physique, but also your strength, energy, and overall health. Sleep deprivation increases cortisol, the stress hormone, and reduces testosterone and growth hormone. Cortisol promotes fat storage, particularly around the abdomen, while low testosterone slows muscle repair and growth. This combination is like a double hit. Your body holds onto fat while simultaneously losing the very tissue, lean muscle, that drives strength and metabolism. You may notice that workouts feel harder, progress stalls, and energy dips more quickly throughout the day. What seems like a simple struggle with weight or motivation is actually your body signaling that it's not recovering and regenerating properly at night. Hunger and cravings are also affected. When you don't sleep well, ghrelin, the hormone that signals hunger, rises, while leptin, the hormone that signals satiety, drops. This creates a perfect storm where you feel hungrier than you need to be, especially for high-calorie, low-nutrition foods. Men over 30 often find themselves reaching for quick energy in the evening or snacking late at night, thinking it's willpower or laziness, but it's biology responding to poor recovery. These repeated cycles of overconsumption, coupled with slower metabolism caused by hormonal imbalances, accelerate fat gain and reduce muscle retention. Another subtle effect is insulin sensitivity. Poor sleep decreases your body's ability to regulate blood sugar effectively. Insulin resistance starts to creep in, making it harder for your body to use carbohydrates efficiently. That means more energy from food is stored as fat, and your muscles don't get the nutrients they need to recover and grow. Over time, this not only affects your appearance, but also drains energy, reduces stamina, and makes physical activity feel more exhausting. Even physical performance is affected beyond the gym. Strength, endurance, and reaction time all decline when sleep is compromised. A fatigued body has slower reflexes, reduced coordination, and decreased capacity for sustained effort. Men often notice that small tasks feel harder, that lifting heavier weights is more challenging, and that overall confidence in their physical abilities dips. This isn't weakness, it's a direct consequence of your body missing the restorative cycles it needs to maintain hormone balance, muscle strength, and energy efficiency. Recovery isn't limited to the gym. Every system in your body, muscles, brain, metabolism, and immune function, relies on sleep to reset and recalibrate. Deep, uninterrupted sleep is when your body performs key repairs and hormone releases. Without it, fat accumulates, muscles weaken, and energy declines. Men often think they can catch up on sleep on weekends, but these short-term fixes can't fully reverse the chronic effects of sleep disruption. Long-term consistency is what preserves metabolism, strength, and vitality. The good news is that this is entirely within your control. Small, deliberate changes to your sleep environment, bedtime routine, and lifestyle can shift your body from fat-storing, muscle-losing patterns to hormone-optimizing, strength-preserving ones. Reducing late-night screen exposure, regulating light in your bedroom, maintaining a consistent bedtime, and managing stress are powerful tools. Even modest improvements in sleep quality can stabilize hormones, improve insulin sensitivity, reduce cravings, and accelerate fat loss, all while preserving and even enhancing muscle. Men who prioritize these habits notice significant changes within weeks. More energy in the morning, better workouts, less stubborn belly fat, and stronger recovery. Strength becomes easier to maintain, fat is harder to gain, and daily energy feels consistent. It's not about dramatic sacrifices. It's about giving your body what it has been silently asking for: deep, restorative, and uninterrupted sleep. When you understand that poor sleep isn't just fatigue, it's an active disruptor of hormones, strength, and metabolism, you gain a new level of control over your body. Fat gain, muscle loss, and low energy are no longer inevitable with age. They are signals that your body needs better recovery, and the solution begins with prioritizing sleep as the foundation for strength, performance, and vitality. Because every night of poor sleep isn't just a bad night. It's a silent saboteur of your hormones, strength, and energy. And every night you reclaim with deep restorative rest is a step toward becoming stronger, leaner, and more energized than you've felt in years. Sleep isn't just about physical recovery. It's also the foundation of mental performance, focus, and motivation. Men often overlook how critical this connection is, assuming that being tired is just part of life or aging. But the truth is, poor sleep directly impairs brain function in ways that affect your energy, decision-making, and drive, and it does so silently, night after night. When your cognitive systems are compromised, your workouts, work performance, and even relationships start to suffer, and most men don't realize the root cause is their sleep quality. During deep sleep, your brain consolidates memories, processes information, and clears toxins accumulated during the day. Without this essential downtime, focus diminishes, reaction time slows, and your ability to handle complex tasks declines. You may notice small lapses, a missed cue in a conversation, slower decision-making at work, or an inability to push through a workout you could have handled easily before. These are not minor inconveniences. They are your body signaling that critical recovery processes are being skipped. Over time, these mental deficits can feel like permanent decline, even though they're entirely reversible with proper sleep. Lack of sleep also disrupts neurotransmitters that control motivation and reward. Dopamine, the chemical that drives drive and focus, drops when sleep is poor. This is why men who don't sleep well often find themselves procrastinating, skipping workouts, or struggling to stick to diet and lifestyle goals. It's not laziness. It's biology responding to inadequate recovery. Motivation becomes harder to maintain, not because you lack discipline, but because your brain literally isn't primed to produce the energy and drive needed for consistent action. Mood and stress regulation are also affected. Cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone, rises when sleep is insufficient. Elevated cortisol not only hampers physical performance and hormone balance, but also heightens anxiety and irritability. Men often notice they are quicker to frustration, less patient, or more emotionally reactive. This mental fatigue can compound physical fatigue, creating a cycle where low energy feeds low motivation, which in turn makes lifestyle changes like exercise and nutrition harder to maintain. The interplay between poor sleep and mental function also impacts recovery indirectly. Mental fatigue can make it difficult to push hard in workouts or maintain proper technique, increasing injury risk. Decision-making around nutrition and daily routines suffers. Even small lapses, choosing convenience foods, skipping hydration, or neglecting stretching, can undermine recovery and progress. Essentially, poor sleep affects the brain first, but the consequences ripple through your body, hormones, and strength. Real-world examples highlight this connection clearly. Men who routinely sleep fewer than 6 hours report slower reaction times, less accuracy in their workouts, and more difficulty sustaining high-intensity training. They may feel tired in the middle of the day, reach for coffee or sugar for quick energy, and notice a slow erosion of strength and stamina. Meanwhile, men who prioritize consistent restorative sleep experience heightened focus, faster decision-making, and more mental clarity, which translates directly into better workouts, better nutrition choices, and greater consistency in daily life. It's also important to recognize that modern lifestyle factors exacerbate the problem. Late-night screen time, blue light exposure, irregular schedules, and stress from work or family can all shorten deep sleep phases critical for cognitive recovery. Men often think they can catch up on weekends, but research shows that fragmented or inconsistent sleep patterns blunt mental performance improvements, leaving the brain chronically under-recovered. The solution lies in consistency and intentionality. Establishing a regular sleep schedule, reducing late-night stimulation, and creating an environment conducive to deep sleep allows the brain to complete its restorative processes. Practices like winding down with low-stimulation activities, controlling light and temperature, and limiting caffeine or alcohol late in the day optimize mental recovery and hormone function. Over time, these small, deliberate changes produce noticeable improvements in focus, drive, and emotional resilience. When men understand that their cognitive performance, motivation, and mental energy are directly tied to sleep, they begin to treat sleep not as a passive act, but as an essential tool for strength and longevity. Your energy isn't just physical, it's mental, and every night of poor sleep silently chips away at both, while every night of restorative sleep restores your mental clarity, focus, and drive, empowering you to perform at your best in the gym, at work, and in life, because your mind is the engine that drives every action, decision, and workout, and without proper sleep, that engine can't run efficiently. Prioritizing sleep is not optional. It's the ultimate performance enhancer for men who want strength, energy, and resilience that lasts well into their 40s and beyond. One of the most overlooked consequences of poor sleep is how it silently undermines your immune system and overall recovery. Men often think that strength, energy, and hormones are purely about training and diet, but the body's ability to fight infection, repair tissue, and adapt to stress depends heavily on sleep. When you cut corners on sleep, your immune system struggles, and this doesn't just affect how often you get sick, it also impacts how effectively your body recovers from workouts, injury, and daily physical stress. During deep sleep, your body produces cytokines, proteins that help fight infection, regulate inflammation, and support tissue repair. Chronic sleep deprivation reduces the production of these critical proteins, leaving your body less capable of handling stress and repair. Men over 40 may not feel this immediately, but over weeks and months, the effects accumulate. Slower recovery from the gym, lingering soreness, increased injury risk, and a gradual decline in energy. What starts as a subtle performance drop eventually becomes a noticeable barrier to strength, stamina, and vitality. Real-world examples illustrate this clearly. Men who routinely sleep poorly often notice a lower sex drive, diminished strength, and slower recovery from exercise. Even with proper diet and consistent training, results stall because the hormonal foundation that drives energy and performance is weakened. Conversely, men who prioritize deep, uninterrupted sleep often experience higher testosterone levels, better muscle retention, improved fat metabolism, and more consistent energy. It's a dramatic difference that many men underestimate because they don't associate sleep with hormone health. The solution is consistent, high-quality sleep, protecting your nightly cycles by going to bed and waking up at the same time, optimizing your sleep environment, reducing stress, and limiting late-night stimulants can significantly enhance hormone production. Small, deliberate changes like dimming lights, avoiding screens before bed, and establishing a calm bedtime routine allow your body to enter deep sleep phases where testosterone and growth hormone peak and cortisol drops. Over time, this creates a physiological environment that supports strength, energy, and longevity naturally. Understanding the link between sleep and hormones reframes how you approach health and performance. It's not about spending more hours in the gym or chasing supplements. It's about giving your body what it needs to regulate itself. Every night of quality sleep is a powerful hormone reset, boosting testosterone, controlling cortisol, and optimizing growth hormone release. This foundation allows every effort in the gym, every meal you eat, and every lifestyle choice to work far more effectively because hormones are the silent architects of energy, strength, and vitality, and sleep is the master key that unlocks their full potential. Prioritize it, protect it, and your body will reward you with renewed strength, sharper focus, and the energy you need to perform at your best, today and for years to come. The truth is, every night of poor sleep silently chips away at your energy, strength, and hormone balance. But the good news is that it's entirely reversible. Understanding how your body regenerates during sleep gives you control. Control over your energy, your workouts, your motivation, and ultimately your life. Small, deliberate changes to prioritize restorative sleep can restore testosterone, optimize growth hormone, lower stress, and accelerate recovery in ways no supplement or extreme routine can replicate. Improvement isn't about doing more. It's about doing what truly matters. When you respect your body's natural cycles and give it the sleep it needs, your energy will rise, your strength will return, and your focus will sharpen. You'll feel more resilient, more confident, and more capable of taking on each day at your peak. Sleep is not a luxury. It's the foundation of every gain, every success, and every moment of vitality. Start tonight. Commit to protecting it, and you'll be amazed at how quickly your body responds. The power to reclaim your energy, strength, and life is in your hands, and it begins the moment you choose to rest, recover, and rebuild. During deep sleep, your body produces cytokines, proteins that help fight infection, regulate inflammation, and support tissue repair. Chronic sleep deprivation reduces the production of these critical proteins, leaving your body less capable of handling stress and repair. Men over 40 may not feel this immediately, but over weeks and months the effects accumulate. Slower recovery from the gym, lingering soreness, increased injury risk, and a gradual decline in energy. What starts as a subtle performance drop eventually becomes a noticeable barrier to strength, stamina, and vitality. Ever wake up exhausted even after a full night of sleep? What if I told you that the very sleep you think is helping you recover is quietly destroying your testosterone, strength, and energy without you even realizing it?